expecting some key housing numbers out this morning as we get pending home sales at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Real estate investors will be paying close attention after existing home sales plunged 10.5% in November. Joining us now is Jeff Taylor, co-founder of Digital Risk. Jeff, well, we did get a good report on home prices on Case-Shiller yesterday. So where are we?
I think across 2015, I think was a very good, stable year for the housing market. But I think as we go and look into 2016, we have two major things we got to look at. Of the $1.5 trillion that we'll do in the housing market this year, 44% of that was refinancing. You see one or two more Fed hikes in 2016, that'll probably drop by 50%. But what that's going to do is drive a second point. You're going to see banks really probably start to loosen the credit box to really attract that first-time home buyers and home buyers in general into the purchase market.
Yeah, it's interesting. First of all, in New Hampshire and other parts of the country, people are paying up to 50% of their income for housing, whether it's low-income rental housing or trying to purchase their first home. And they don't have enough money to save for the deposit because of the new banking regulations. So housing starts, builders are really getting crushed with a lot of the regulations, zoning, and not only the town, state, and sometimes federal regs. So do you see any loosening up or streamlining of that process to allow for more housing starts?
Well, you know, again, look at the Fannie and Freddie. They have products out there that are 97% loan to value, so you have a lot of first-time home buyers that can get in that first-time home buyer. So I do think we're going to see some loosening up.
Jeff, I want to get into, though, the lack of affordability. Housing, I saw a statistic that I think 40% of the housing markets, the prices there are back to the peak. So that's a stunning statistic, but a lot of people are getting priced out. And are you going to see, what is going to change? Or could you actually see prices starting to roll over in some of these cities?
Well, you know what's amazing? From 2007 to 2013, we had the lowest household formation in 60 years. In 14 and 15, it started to pick up. So when we talk about housing affordability, we have to make sure we look at it from two perspectives. People will be able to afford houses. They might get less for their money, but will they actually be able to get into the housing market? I think so. And I think in the next 5 years, we're actually going to see a housing boom because of that huge lag that we had from 07 to 13 with historically low interest rates. So even though they'll be paying more and getting maybe less for their money, I think we are going to see a pretty big housing boom in the next 5 years.
Hey, Jeff, it's Kevin Kelly from Recon. My question to you is that about your housing boom that you're talking about, is that going to be in the affordable areas that we're seeing the growth? I mean, Portland this year is up 10%. Is that because it's more affordable housing? So will we see that continue this year and over the next 5 years?
You know, it's interesting, right? I mean, I think you're going to see a lot more growth in the areas where the jobs are. So you look at Portland, areas like San Francisco and New York, those have risen quite a bit. So the affordable housing, it's going to be a lot where jobs are. Secondly, and it's going to see that household formation. Are they going to, when people feel good about their jobs, are they going to stay in the big cities, or are they going to actually move into the suburbs and move a little further away from their work but get more house for their money? So a lot of it's going to be driven by how comfortable people are in their jobs and for the longevity.
What are you seeing for actually rehabbing of homes versus actually going out and buying a home? Are you seeing any uptick in that area?
Yeah, so I live in Miami, and I'll tell you right now, it is a huge, huge boom. It seems like people are either rehabbing or knocking down houses. So I think there's a lot of growth in those areas too, really of, you know, location, location, location. If they can rehab those houses, they're doing that. And that's actually a good sign too for places like Home Depot and Lowe's, because as the rehabs go, you get a nice boom for those companies.
Right, and as more people are not underwater on their mortgages, they can put their existing homes on the market for sale, and that gives the opportunity for somebody to buy and renovate for sure. Jeff, good to see you. I always love to see that Miami backdrop. Makes me sad.
Have a great holiday. Have a great holiday.
You too, Jeff Taylor. Thank you so much.